Are you guys keeping up with the Twitter files, the hearings?
Oh, am I ever?
Those hearings are insane, right?
It's so crazy.
Marjorie Taylor Greene fucking throwing
It's
heat.
so crazy.
Not to put you on the
and
spot.
Matt Gaetz, you see the Matt Gaetz one?
I didn't see that.
Matt Gaetz crushes, dog.
Did you see the CNN article about it? It was straight propaganda. I watched the article. They were dismissing the laptop story. The fact that they suppressed the information about the laptop.
That's insane.
It's so crazy. I'll find it and I'll give it to Jamie so we can watch it.
CNN fallen off like a month? Now everyone's
Their
like,
ratings
Jesus
were the
Christ.
lowest in 9 years, I think.
Fire the Kid gets better ratings.
This is like, it's so much propaganda. It's so crazy when you see what they actually said.
Operation Mockingbird in full effect.
They're just a bunch of
Read
bitches.
James Bamford's book, Spy Fail. He talks about how when the NSA got hacked, what did you read? Where Seth Rogan and that movie,
The Interview,
pissed off
Kim Jong-un?
North Koreans so much that the minute when that guy, they don't know who did it, they still don't know. Somebody, they think, an internal employee of the NSA, put all their top secret hacking software on the web to buy on the dark web. And Russia and North Korea bought it, and North Korea created WannaCry, which was this virus that fucked up everything and exposed all of Sony.
You need to see this because I just sent this to Jamie because it's so crazy. See, think of what we're talking about, the Twitter hearings, about the Twitter files, when you read what actually happened. Now look at CNN's article. Republicans hold a hearing to prove Twitter's bias against them. It backfired in spectacular fashion. Look, this is how crazy this is that they wrote this. Because they're talking about these unfounded claims. Now, scroll down so I could read it, because this is where I read some of it. Despite no real evidence to support this weighty and consequential claim, Republicans were unrelenting in its peddling to American public. So this is what they're saying, that the only conclusion that can be drawn from Wednesday's hearing on Capitol Hill, where GOP lawmakers continue to push a factually unsupported narrative about the federal government secretly colluding with Twitter to censor the New York Post Hunter Biden laptop story. But it's true. Like, isn't it? Like, isn't there absolute evidence that they talked to them and said it was...
Yes.
That it was... they said it to Facebook because Zuckerberg said on the podcast that they told them a bunch of disinformation was coming their way.
The FBI, who used to find bad guys, now they're doing this.
But look at how CNN is writing this. Despite no real evidence to support this weighty and consequential claim. That's not true.
But to play devil's advocate, isn't there a timing issue here? So couldn't you say that when the story was floating out there was a lot of reason to believe that this could have been propaganda? You know what I'm saying?
Sure, if you don't know. Like, I don't know what they knew. Like,
That's what I'm
we don't
saying.
know, right?
We don't know.
It could have been. We could have thought that it was Russian disinformation. It could be both things are true.
Right.
It could be they suppressed it and they really did think it was fake.
Right.
It could be that. But to say there's no evidence to support this weighty and consequential claim is not accurate, because once look, you could give them the benefit of the doubt and say they thought it was fake. They thought it was Russian disinformation. But you can't say that they didn't try to suppress that story.
Correct.
And you can't say that Twitter didn't suppress that story, because they 100% did.
They did.
And Zuckerberg on this podcast talked about what Facebook did.
Yes.
And that it was in response to the FBI contacting them.
Yes.
This is all so wild, man, because this seems like not the news. Like, the way they're writing it, this unsupported claim is nothing new for him.
Well, we know CNN sucks ass. What's scary is the FBI get involved with this stuff, with social media.
Scroll down that. Look, scroll. No. Go back up. I'm aware of no unlawful collusion with, well, not unlawful. It's not unlawful, or direction from any government agency or political campaign on how Twitter should have handled the Hunter Biden laptop situation. James Baker, Twitter's former deputy counsel, told the committee while under oath.
Liar.
Well, he might not have been aware.
Right.
He might not have been aware. That might be actually true. He might be telling the truth.
True.
See, I always think of it as the fog of war in these situations. Right.
You have to think of that.
Yeah. Because I don't think we give enough credit to the fact that sometimes people don't know. Sometimes people have half the information. The timing is. These people in these positions are dealing with 15 different things. So I always look more at bureaucracy.
Look at how they connected these two things. Look at this. His statements get to the heart of the matter by pushing the narrative that there was collusion, in quotes, which is weird. Yeah. So they're like, collusion. They're even like with a tone between big tech and the FBI to censor, in quotes, censor the post-Hunter Biden story. Republicans are not so subtly feeding their election-denying base reason to believe that the 2020 election was effectively rigged against Donald Trump. The fact that they put those two together, that is such a wild thing. It's such a wild thing because we're talking about one very specific story. The fact that they're like saying they're feeding their election denying base. No, they're telling a truth about a story that turned out to be real. The question is, was it censored? But by putting collusion and censor, but if it's true, then you're lying.
Right.
If it's true, then this is not an accurate article. And it's so, I mean, I guess it's an editorial. Is it an editorial?
Yeah, I think so.
Is it an opinion piece?
I tried to scroll up to check. It doesn't say that.
It
But
might be.
Anytime
Does it have
someone
an author?
accuses,
Yeah, Oliver Darcy.
Yeah.